Have you ever wondered what role the concept of the soul plays in our lives? Picture this: a deep, spiritual essence, the awareness within us, the original pure consciousness that is inherent in every human being. This is known as the soul, which is inseparable from the supreme inner observer or the true self. These intriguing terms refer to the same level of our personality, the deepest spiritual base, the observing beginning. Dive in with us as we explore the depths of the soul and the supreme inner observer. The soul is our deep spiritual essence, the awareness within us. This concept might sound surreal, but it's actually quite simple and incredibly profound. The soul is that original pure consciousness that is inherently present in every human being. It's like a radiant, silent observer within us, always witnessing, always aware. Imagine an eternal flame that never flickers, never wanes, and yet never burns anything. That's the soul, unchanging, unaffected by the temporal transitions of life and death, rebirths and reincarnations. It is the essence of who we truly are, beyond the physical body and the transient mind. The soul is inseparable from what we refer to as the supreme witness or the true self. These might seem like different terms, but they all point to the same profound truth, the same level of our personality. This level is our deepest spiritual base, the foundation upon which our entire being is built. It is the root of our existence, the primal cause, the observing beginning. Unlike our ordinary consciousness, which is constantly in flux, influenced by our thoughts, emotions, and desires, the soul is independent. It exists beyond these ephemeral elements of our being. It is like the serene sky that remains untouched, no matter how stormy the weather might be. The soul is pure awareness. It doesn't evaluate, doesn't judge what is happening around us or within us. It simply bears witness with deep calmness. It is a silent observer, watching the drama of life unfold with detached interest. And here's the most beautiful part: this soul, this pure consciousness, is one and the same for all human beings at the core. The differences we see are only in the degree of manifestation and awareness of this level. Just as a single sun reflects in countless dewdrops, the one soul manifests uniquely in each one of us. So, the soul in essence is our deepest spiritual base, the observing beginning. It's a journey inward, a voyage into the depths of our own being. As we delve deeper, we discover our true nature, our real identity, which is eternal, serene, and one with all. How does the soul differ from our ordinary consciousness? This is a question that has intrigued philosophers and spiritual seekers for centuries. The soul, according to the supreme inner observer concept, is a deep spiritual essence, an inherent awareness within every human being. It's our original pure consciousness, a level of our personality that is inseparable from the supreme witness or the true self. Different names, but they all point to the same spiritual base, the observing beginning. Now let's break down the differences between the soul and our ordinary consciousness. First, the soul is eternal, unchanging in its essence. It is not affected by the cycle of death or rebirths. It's like a timeless river, constantly flowing yet never altering its core essence. Ordinary consciousness, on the other hand, is transient, ever-changing with the flow of life. Secondly, the soul is independent of the mind and ego. It exists beyond thoughts, emotions, and desires. This is in stark contrast to our ordinary consciousness, which is often entangled in the web of thoughts, driven by emotions, and captivated by desires. Thirdly, the soul is pure awareness. It doesn't evaluate or judge what is happening. It simply bears witness with deep calmness. It's like a mirror reflecting the world without distorting it. This is different from our ordinary consciousness, which is constantly evaluating, judging, and interpreting the world around us. Finally, the soul is universal among all human beings at the core. The only difference lies in the degree of manifestation and awareness of this level. While ordinary consciousness varies greatly from person to person, shaped by personal experiences and cultural contexts, the soul remains the same, connecting us all at a deeper level. So, you see, the soul and ordinary consciousness are different in many ways. The soul is that deep spiritual essence that remains unchanged, independent of the mind and ego, purely aware and universal among all human beings. Ordinary consciousness, on the other hand, is transient, intertwined with thoughts and emotions, evaluative, and varied among individuals. Yet, it's important to remember that these differences do not make one superior or inferior to the other. Both the soul and ordinary consciousness play vital roles in our lives. Ordinary consciousness helps us navigate the physical world, while the soul connects us to our deeper spiritual essence. Indeed, the soul and ordinary consciousness are like two sides of the same coin. They are different, yet they are part of the same whole, the human experience. In essence, the soul transcends thoughts, emotions, desires, and simply bears witness with deep calmness. It's like a serene lake, reflecting the world without getting disturbed by it. It's a beacon of peace and tranquility amidst the chaos and noise of ordinary consciousness. Thus, the soul transcends thoughts, emotions, desires, and simply bears witness with deep calmness. But what is this supreme inner observer that we keep mentioning? Let's dive deeper into this concept. The supreme inner observer is another name we use to refer to the soul, the deepest, most profound level of our personality. It's not something abstract or far-fetched, rather it's a part of us, just as our minds and bodies are. This supreme observer is the spiritual essence, the pure consciousness that resides within every one of us. This observer is not a passive bystander. It's an active witness, silently watching, experiencing, and absorbing everything we go through. It's always on, always observing, and always present. Yet it does not judge or evaluate events as good or bad, right or wrong. It simply observes with a deep sense of calmness and acceptance. But here's the fascinating part. The supreme inner observer is universal. It's not unique to you or me, it's a shared essence that connects us all. It's like a vast ocean of consciousness where every individual is a wave. Each wave is unique with its shape and movement, yet it's made up of the same water as the entire ocean. This universality is what unites us at the deepest level. We are all different expressions of the same consciousness, the same inner observer. And just like the waves in the ocean, our individual expressions of the supreme inner observer can vary greatly. For some, this awareness is a soft whisper, barely heard over the noise of daily life. For others, it's a resounding echo, guiding their actions and decisions. The difference lies not in the observer itself, but in our awareness of it and our ability to tune into its presence. This supreme inner observer, then, plays an important role in our lives. It's our spiritual anchor, keeping us grounded amidst the storms of life. It's our inner compass, pointing us towards our true nature and purpose. And it's our bridge to the universal consciousness, reminding us of our interconnectedness and shared humanity. The supreme inner observer, then, is the eternal witness within us all. From a psychological standpoint, how can we understand the soul? Let's delve into this fascinating exploration together. Psychology often grapples with the conscious and subconscious aspects of our mind. Yet, when it comes to the soul, we're tapping into a realm that exists beyond these familiar territories. We're venturing into the profound depth of our spiritual primordiality. The soul, in essence, is not a component of our psychological construct. It's not a facet of our mind, nor is it an extension of our ego. It stands independent, unaltered by our thoughts, emotions, and desires. It remains unfazed by the ceaseless chatter of our conscious mind or the hidden whispers of our subconscious. Instead, the soul represents a pure, undiluted awareness. It doesn't evaluate or judge the happenings of life. It doesn't get caught up in the drama of existence or the narratives we weave. It simply bears witness, observing with a deep, serene calmness, like a tranquil lake reflecting the world without getting entangled in it. When we speak of the soul, we're speaking of something that's eternal and unchanging in its essence. It's untouched by the cycle of birth and death, undisturbed by the transient nature of life. It is, in its purest form, a perpetual beacon of consciousness, illuminating our inner world with its unwavering light. The soul is universal, a shared spiritual essence at the core of all human beings. Our differences lie only in the degree of manifestation and awareness of this level. Some of us may tap into this profound depth more readily, while others may remain oblivious to its existence. Yet, it's present within each one of us, waiting to be acknowledged, waiting to be discovered. So, when we approach the soul from a psychological perspective, we're not analyzing another layer of the mind. We're acknowledging our deepest spiritual essence, our true self that exists beyond the realms of thought and emotion. Psychology, thus, recognizes the soul as our deepest, most fundamental spiritual essence. As we continue our journey, let's remember this understanding, for it forms the bedrock of our exploration into the soul. How does the soul manifest, and how can we become aware of it? This question stirs the heart of the spiritual seeker. The soul manifests in subtle ways, often eluding the grasp of our ordinary consciousness. Yet, it's always there, an eternal and unchanging essence, independent of our transient thoughts, emotions, and desires. The level of soul awareness varies among individuals. For some, it's a faint whisper, an occasional flicker of intuition, or moments of profound peace. For others, it's a constant companion, a serene observer bearing witness to life's unfolding drama with deep calmness and non-judgment. Cultivating awareness of our soul is a transformative journey. It's like peeling an onion, layer by layer, to reveal the core. It involves quietening the mind, transcending the ego, and tuning into the soul's subtle frequencies. Meditation can be a powerful tool in this process, helping us to still the mind's chatter and open the doorway to our inner realm. Mindfulness practices also offer pathways to soul awareness. They invite us to be fully present in each moment, to observe our thoughts, emotions, and sensations without attachment or judgment. This mindful witnessing can gradually shift our identification from the ego to the soul, from the transient to the eternal, from the part to the whole. Yet, cultivating soul awareness isn't a one-size-fits-all prescription. It's a deeply personal journey unique to each one of us. It may involve practices like meditation and mindfulness, or it may unfold through art, nature, service, or relationships. It's about finding what resonates with our heart, what helps us to tune into our inner stillness, our innate wisdom, our soul. Increasing our awareness of the soul can lead to profound spiritual growth. It can awaken us to our interconnectedness, to our shared humanity, to our oneness with all of life. It can inspire compassion, kindness, and gratitude. It can illuminate our path with wisdom and love, guiding us towards a life of deeper meaning, fulfillment, and joy. So, why does understanding the soul matter in today's world, you may ask? In an era marked by rapid technological advancement and constant change, the relevance of understanding the soul, the supreme inner observer, is more profound than ever. The soul, being eternal and unchanging, offers us a steady anchor amidst the swirling currents of life. It offers us a sense of continuity, a constant that we can return to in times of chaos and uncertainty. Moreover, understanding the soul's independence from the mind and ego can significantly shape our perspective towards life. It reminds us that we are more than our thoughts, our emotions, and our desires. It teaches us that we exist beyond the realm of fleeting experiences, beyond the transient nature of the physical world. This realization can liberate us from the shackles of our anxieties, our fears, and our self-doubt. The soul's pure awareness, its non-judgmental observation, can guide us towards a more mindful existence. By embodying this pure awareness, we can engage with life more deeply, more authentically. We can experience the world without the clouded lens of judgment, without the constant need to evaluate or categorize. This can lead to a richer, more nuanced understanding of our experiences, our relationships, and ourselves. The soul's universality, its shared essence among all human beings, can foster a sense of unity and interconnectedness. Recognizing that the soul is one for all at the core can dissolve the illusory barriers that divide us, promoting empathy, compassion, and mutual respect. From a psychological standpoint, the soul represents our deep spiritual primordiality. This awareness can inspire us to explore our spiritual dimension, to seek meaning beyond the material, and to cultivate an inner life that is as vibrant and fulfilling as our outer life. In essence, understanding the soul can profoundly enrich our daily lives. It can help us navigate life's ups and downs with grace and resilience. It can deepen our connections with ourselves and others. It can inspire us to live more mindfully, more authentically, and more compassionately. By understanding our soul, we can connect more deeply with ourselves and others, leading to a more harmonious, fulfilling life. In conclusion, the soul is our deep spiritual essence, and the supreme inner observer is our eternal witness. The soul, our original pure consciousness, is eternal and unchanging. It remains untouched by the cycles of death and rebirth, existing independently of the mind and the ego. It resides beyond thoughts, emotions, and desires, offering pure awareness without judgment or evaluation. The supreme inner observer, another name for our soul, is the quiet, still point of deep calm within us, bearing witness to our life without interference or opinion. This observer is a constant, quiet presence, a deep spiritual base that exists within every human being. We've explored how the soul and the supreme inner observer are one and the same, differing only in the degree of manifestation and awareness. From a psychological perspective, the soul embodies our deep spiritual primordiality, our true essence before societal conditioning and personal narratives. These concepts are not just philosophical or psychological constructs, they hold profound relevance in our daily lives. By recognizing and connecting with our soul, our supreme inner observer, we can cultivate a deeper understanding of ourselves and our place in the world. This connection allows us to live with a sense of authenticity, peace, and fulfillment, helping us navigate life's challenges with equanimity and wisdom. By understanding and connecting with our soul, our supreme inner observer, we can live more fully, more authentically, and more peacefully.